Hey rum friend, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm really excited because this is happening. This is going to be my first ever tasting of Captain Morgan private stock. Now, every morning when I dive into the comments and all my previous videos across all my channels, there are two rum brands that just dominate. The first one is Bumbu. The second one is Captain Morgan private stock. Now, long-term viewers will know Bumbu is really easy to get. It's a worldwide brand. We've had it here in the UK 7-8 years probably at the very least. I mean, in that time it's jumped around in ABV. It's gone 35%. This bottle was the 40% ABV version. It's just been around a long while. Captain Morgan private stock, on the other hand, is a little bit different because this is not a UK rum. It is not available for sale here in the UK. Even this bottle is a US bottle. It's a 750ml bottle compared to 700 mils that we get here in the UK. And it's all about America, the US on the back of this bottle. But just to dive into one thing here, before the taxman comes on to me, yes, the duty has been paid on imports. So don't come after me, Mr. Taxman. Now, before I go ahead and dive in and taste this for the very first time, there's a couple of things that really did surprise me about this that I wasn't expecting. Firstly, and I don't know why, but I just didn't consider this as a spiced rum. Now, admittedly, I've never really looked at it online. I've never done the research because we just can't get it here in the UK. But the term private stock and where it says premium aged rum on the bottle, or the little bit of blurb that I have seen, I just naturally assumed that this referred to it being a proper rum. But actually, when you dive into the text right here at the bottom, it very clearly goes down the same weight route as your Bumbu. It is a spiced and flavoured rum. Now, you'd be forgiven if you did miss that about Bumbu because it is written in the tiniest little letters in the middle of that X there. But the fact is, it is written there. This is not a rum. This is a spiced rum. This is a rum with natural flavours, and a big one is vanilla. So as I've said many times on this channel, do not compare that to the likes of your Appletons, your Mount Gays, your Eldorados, any like proper rum. This is spiced rum. Now, the big plus side to the Captain Morgan private stock is, compared to the original Captain Morgan Spice Gold, is that this is actually a rum. This is not a rum. This is merely a rum, maybe based spirit drink. We know there's a little bit of rum in there, but this is a spirit drink. This is an out and out rum. And they quite clearly say this is distilled with premium aged rum. Many people, because of the colour, assume that this is aged rum. And while again, we don't know for 100%, but we're pretty much 95 at least % sure that this is merely a white rum with a little bit of colour in. And obviously, you know, if you add stuff like vanilla to that, then it is going to go that colour. But that's the big difference. This is a premium aged rum. This is just white rum off the still. Now, there's nothing wrong with white rum. A lot of you will know that I absolutely adore my white rum. But that's the big difference between these two products. Today's video is sponsored by me. If you had a chance to download my free rum ebook yet, if not, you'll find the link below in the description of this video, or you can scan the QR code that's popping up on screen right now. My free rum ebook gets updated twice a year and it's packed full of interesting information and tips of how you can enjoy rum. It also includes a few basic rum cocktail recipes, plus how to make one of my favourites. This is a dragon fruit and papaya daiquiri. So what are you waiting for? As I said, you'll find the link in the description below, or you can scan that QR code. Right, back to the video. And I think the third difference, I mean, there's going to be many other differences as well, but the third big difference that I can kind of give you as well, that we haven't got a Scooby-Doo where the rum from this comes from. I've heard at least 6 different places where the rum is, and it wouldn't even surprise me if like it's a completely different rum to what's actually you get in the US, what's actually in like the rest of Europe. And now I'm pretty much assuming it's blended for each specific market. However, the rum in this is very clear. It's an aged Puerto Rican rum. So like differences aside, and yes, I am going to sort of be tasting and kind of comparing what the upgrade is there, but the 3 kind of, or the 2 other rums that I would put this in a bracket with, just at face value without even tasting. Obviously, this is going to be a competitor to Bumbu. This is pretty much in the same category. The other one, definitely from a UK point of view, and I know this is available in the US, but I would actually go Don Papa as well. I think these three rums are pretty much vying for that premium spiced rum market. Now, before I dive in and taste these, I'm loving all the suggestions at the moment. There's been 3 or 4 videos in a row where I've opened this out to you guys. I want to know what videos you want me to make in different content buckets. I'm loving the blind tasting. This one's not going to be a blind tasting, but if you've got any other suggestions for blind tastings, go for it. If you've got any other cocktails you want me to debunk, go for it. I have actually got another special series. I'm not sure how they're going to sit about cocktails. Let's kind of go there. Whatever suggestions you've got around educating in rum and rum cocktails, you let me know. And that goes over to the blue channel as well. So first off, I'm going to do this back to order. I'm going to build up to this. So first off, just reacquaint myself to Don Papa, because the only time I really drink it is doing sort of videos like this and occasional sort of spiced rum videos. But, you know, off there, it is a 40% ABV. We know it's massively sweet. It's vanilla and it's well, I was going to say candy floss there for some reason, but I probably don't mean candy floss, but just like a real sweet vanilla. There's a funny sweet coming off that. I can't think what sweet, but it's, you know, there's nothing else coming off that. It's just vanilla and sweet, and it's going to have a lot of fans. Of course it is. Now on the taste, it's actually all right. We know it's not my favourite spiced rum, but it's actually not as sweet as you're thinking it is off the nose. It's a reason it sells at the volume it does, because it tastes nice. Yes, I'm not mistaking that for rum. Would I think that's a whiskey, or would I think it's a brandy or anything like that? No, I'm pretty much assuming that that's a rum there. It's vanilla forward. There's a little bit of spice tingle on it. It's pretty damn decent. Is it worth the price that we pay for it? Probably not, but it sits in this premium category. People buy it. And until people don't buy it, it's going to stay at that price. It's that flipping simple. But, you know, grand scheme of things, that's pretty decent. Now the second one, Bumbu, actually nowhere near as vanilla pronounced as what the Don Papa is, to be honest. This is more rum pronounced on there. There's very little giveaway on the aroma. You know, there is vanilla there. There is a little touch of spice there. But the Don Papa is like leaps and bounds, if that's the right term to use, but much more spice forward, much more vanilla forward than what this is. Again, this is going to be the thing with this. Is it worth the money that it's actually paid for? It's better than some of your spiced rums, but is it 35, 40 pounds or whatever the hell it is here in the UK? Is it worth that? That's the big debate, right? I mean, if I'm being honest, right at this point, again, I can understand why it has a lot of fans. It's a damn sight better than what that is. Actually, out of the two, and I'm not sure which way round I went in the previous video, which I probably did a couple of months ago now about spiced rums. I'm probably out of the two. I'm probably actually going for Don Papa. And because there's just a little bit more to it. It's just, you know, if I want a sweeter spiced rum, that's probably the one I'm enjoying a little bit more. There's nothing wrong with the Bumbu. It's just, I've got a lot better spiced rums behind me. I've got to stop calling these spiced rums. Vanilla is vanilla flavoured rum. It's essentially what we're going for, with a little tingle of spice. But it's all right. It's, you know, it's nothing terrible. It's nothing bad. It's just all right. So I'm delaying. I'm building up the suspense, but just to reacquaint myself with normal sort of Captain Morgan Spiced Gold. You're really struggling on that. It's you are really struggling on that. The aroma is very faint, very subdued. I probably get vanilla off there at a push, but not much else going on. On the taste, compared to drinking those two, and it's only 5 ABV difference, so 10 proof. It tastes like water. Compare it, and you know, that's only 40%. That just tastes like water. There's nothing to it. It's thin. I mean, it's got a bit of vanilla. I understand why these sell at the volumes they do. This is probably up there, and I think it's this brand. I'm going to touch on this on another video, but this, and the blue channel, that's going to be, but this is pretty much one of the world's biggest selling rums, and I understand why. I really do understand why. It's going to have a lot of fans. not essentially rum fans, but it is going to have a lot of fans. Right, now, let's go for it. It's not even been opened yet. Oh, there we go. How much for a bottle pop there? That's a bit disappointing, isn't it? Right, let's put this. Immediately, my first reaction is that this is actually a lot darker. But we know there's colours involved, like added colourants to Captain Morgan's as the brand. But, you know, I'm really excited by this, actually. Not pronounced as what I was expecting. Little bit of vanilla on there. Do you know what? And actually, after going through these and having a good sort of minute, 90 seconds with this, I'm gonna put this out there. That smells, and I know it's not, but that smells the most authentic vanilla. This smells like proper vanilla. That's kind of a fakey sweet vanilla going on there. This actually smells like a vanilla pod. And I know it's not. Don't come at me. I get it. I know it's not. But this is the best aroma on there. It's not as in your face as what the Don Papa and the Bumbu are, but that smells quite nice. Do you know what? I'm actually pleasantly surprised by that. It's not as sweet as I was expecting. That's probably got the most spice on it. For a spiced rum, that's actually pretty good. Now, I know how much I paid to have it imported over here. Wasn't actually that much in the grand scheme of things, but would I pay what I paid to import it? Would I import another bottle? No, of course not. It's not worth that money. But from what I've seen in the US market, this is what, $20, $22 compared to like stupid money for that. This is going to be the big thing in the US market. I'm really opening this out to questions now, which, and I'm pretty much discounting that because I pretty much know it's about these two brands. Which do you prefer? For me, at face value at the moment, the Captain Morgan private stock rumps it over the Bumbu. Really does. Do you know what? I would go so far to say, if that was available in the UK at a respectable price, £20 maybe, I'd potentially have a bottle of that in the house. I'm actually, I've been standing here now for about 2 or 3 minutes in between takes. I'm actually kind of shocked by this. Is this the best spiced rum I've got? No. Does it even compete with like anything on that shelf? No, but for the price that it would be, if it was a thing here in the UK, bearing in mind that that's, all right, that's a litre, but if we're going for a standard 70cl, like £14, that's our really cheap limits here in the UK. I know in the US you pay a lot less than that. But so if that's like 14, the premium upgrade would be roughly 20. Do you know what? That would actually be, I think, a really big seller here in the UK. That's not bad. It's not brilliant. It's not epic, but it's far from terrible. Do I prefer that to Bumbu? Do I prefer that to Don Papa? It's a completely different league above those. Completely different league. Fake sweetness to them. I know it's not authentic. I know it's not. I totally get that it's not real vanilla. I totally get it's not real spices. But it tastes much more authentic than what they do. That's the biggest compliment I can give that. Do you know what? That's all right. You know what? Just standing here, I'm having a conversation with myself that I'm now going to involve you guys in. I can't understand. I've got an argument of why it wouldn't be, but I can't understand why it's not a UK product. Because that is the biggest selling product in rum in the UK by a landslide. It's not even remotely close. Captain Morgan own it here in the UK. You know, like Kraken would probably be number 2. That may be dead man's fingers, but I don't think so. Just simply because Kraken is available everywhere here in the UK. So to go from that, we know a certain amount of people love a premium upgrade and love to splash a little bit more on a brand that they trust. So from that point of view, I cannot understand why Captain Morgan, or Diageo I should say, have never released this here in the UK. For me, with my business head on here, not rum head on, but business head on here, if I'm Diageo, get me big multi-billion pound company. But if I'm Diageo, I'm bringing that into the UK market just to dominate and take even more money from other people's sales, because I think that would probably sell a lot more. That would probably take, bearing in mind that's £14 and Kraken is, what, £20? That's going to take a huge share of the Kraken market, without a shadow of a doubt. Only thing, and this is the argument, the only thing I can surmise from this is that because they are upfront and saying it's Puerto Rican rum, the only thing I can surmise is that they physically don't have enough stock of this to actually roll this out in the UK to keep up with the market. That's the only thing I can assume, because they will be buying this for, I don't know who, whether it's Cerealis, whether it's like people that make Don Q, whether it comes from Bacardi stables, very much doubt it. Absolutely very much doubt it. It's going to be probably Cerealis, and I've completely forgotten the other sort of Puerto Rican rum distillery out there. I think there's another one. That could be my only kind of thing, that there's just simply not enough rum that they can get hold of to bring this into the UK, because UK, I say it week in, week out, is dominated by spiced rum. And I think the spiced rum market would absolutely lap this up. But just to make my position absolutely crystal clear, is it in the leagues of Don Q spiced? Is it in the leagues of Chairman's Reserve spiced? Absolutely not. They are the next level up there. But what I would do is I'd easily clump it in with the Bacardi spiced by, you know, easily, absolutely easily. I'm surprised by that. And with my mass market spiced rum head on, I'm really surprised. That's really decent. So coming in, US viewers, those of you that have had this, is this your go-to? I know a lot of people is, because there's a sheer amount of comments to this. But actually, what would you compare it to? Do you realise that you should be comparing it to Bumbu? Or have you got other brands that I've completely overlooked that you do compare it to and you prefer those over this? Let me know in the comments below.